So I'm going to do a intro video on how to add account and opportunity teams on Salesforce. So obviously the first thing we're going to do is to go to createmedia.my.salesforce.com. That should bring you to the home screen. Now, as I'm already working in Salesforce, I'm already logged in. It should bring you to a login screen. That'll bring you to your home screen. As you can see, I have not set up anything special about mine, but as a reminder, of course, you can set up your home screen any way that you want. Just identify whatever you would like to have on it, contact Rob, and he can set up a brand new home screen for you. EDM and Pop both have their own individual home screens. So you're going to come up to the corner here to the View Profile tab and scroll down. You'll see my name is here. And create.my.salesforce.com. That says that we're in our special Salesforce. It also tells me that I'm not in my development portal, that this is in fact the production model, which is obviously where you want to be. I'm going to go into settings, and this should pull up my settings categories. And at the top on the left here, you'll see my information is here. If you go up to the top left, you'll see advanced user details. You want to go into advanced user details. And after this loads, you can do one of two things. You can scroll about halfway down until you find default user teams. That's the default opportunity team and the default account team. Or alternatively, at the very top, you'll see right in the middle line here, default opportunity team and default account team. And it'll bring you down to that section of the UI right here. So now, essentially what a default opportunity team is that every opportunity will add these people on and give them a role, whether or not they can read, whether they can read-write the account, and what that role actually means. Right now, our roles are kind of vague, and so it doesn't really matter what role you give them, but eventually we will start making different permissions for different roles. And this, of course, applies to opportunities only. The default account team is the same thing, only for accounts. It allows you to add people to every single account that you have, allows them to read it, read-write, and adds different permissions based on the team role account. So let's go into the default opportunity team, and we're going to add someone in. Now, unless you're an absolutely new member of Salesforce, what you definitely want to do is to make sure you check this box at the top that says automatically add my default opportunity team to opportunities that I create or open opportunities that are transferred to me. What this will do is every new opportunity you create, it will automatically set these roles so that people can read or read-write to that new opportunity. You also want to check the box that says update open opportunity teams with these members. That means that any open opportunities that you have will be updated with these people on those opportunities. So the urban team has just started to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and add the urban team in right now. And that, of course, is Charles. And you see I put in Charles, and Charles' name pops up. Now I have the opportunity access to give him read or read-write. Read only means that he'll be able to see any of my opportunities or any of the opportunities that he is on the opportunity team. Read write means that he'll be able to modify anything on those opportunities that I've added him to the opportunity team. You need to make a very quick decision here and make sure that you make it carefully. For most people and most teams, read only is going to be the way that you go. This will let people who are on your team see the opportunities and check out the data, but not be able to change anything on them. When it comes time to do an audit, you can actually go in and modify this setting and give one person on the team read-write capability so they can update any information on the opportunity that needs to be updated. If you're giving a superior, in this case Charles is the coordinator for the hip-hop team, you may want to give your superior a read-write privilege, because that will mean that they can step in anytime and update any information that they may have. But as Charles is on the hip-hop team, and not all of my opportunities are the hip-hop team, I'm going to give him read-only access by default, and I can always modify that down the road. Team role. Now, there are several team roles, and as I said just a few minutes ago, these are not really specifically outlined, and there's not a lot of differences in permissions between them. A&R is going to be the person who contacts the client. This is usually just as a reminder for you about here's who I reach out to if I have issues with this client. Primary support would be somebody at your level who is going to be working on the account the same way that you are. If you choose primary support, it's likely you're going to have read and write access for that person as well. Secondary support is very similar. The A&R support team, they all work together on all of their opportunities. So you may have one or two primary support people and a secondary support person. Likely, if you have a secondary support person, you're also going to give them read-write access. Tertiary support would be the next layer down. Tertiary, of course, means 3. And this is someone who may not be actively working on all of your opportunities, but someone who should at least see them. Typically, you're going to give this person read-only access, although in some cases, you may want to give them read-write access as well. For those teams who are doing tasking through SalesForce, you might want to make someone an account manager. This will allow the person to modify things on the account, but maybe not the opportunity. And as we're in the opportunity team right now, I may want to mark Charles as the account manager, but not give him read-write access, only read for the opportunities. Later, we'll look at account teams. Channel manager, for some teams, they have a specific person who's in charge of all channels. Again, this is likely to be read-only access on the opportunity. And lead qualifier is someone who is going to help the team build leads, generate prospects. Now, for an opportunity, you're not likely to use this or the channel manager. So you're not likely to see either of these two on the opportunity team. But you're likely to give them, if you do, read-only access. It's likely that only the A&R, primary support, and secondary support will have read-write access. Everyone else will have read-only. So I'm going to go ahead and add Charles with read access, primary support. You know what? I'll give him tertiary support on all of my opportunities. And I'm going to add CN, who's also new to SalesForce as well. And I'm going to give her the same tertiary support level with read-only access. Again, I'm going to confirm before I hit save that I have both of these boxes checked at the top. It's very important that you do not forget that step. Now, it only allows you to fill 5 here. If you're a new member of a team and you want to add everyone on your team at once, you would click Save and More. It'll save those 5 and present you with 5 blanks that you can fill in with the additional members of your team. But in my case, I'm only doing 2, so I'm just going to hit Save. Of course, if you've made a mistake and you want to back out without saving these changes, you would hit Cancel. Now, once it loads and updates, again, I'm going to go to Default Opportunity Team up here at the top. It'll drop me down to the middle, and I'll see that Charles is now read-only access and tertiary support on my opportunity team. Now, the first 5 are the only ones who are going to show on the main screen, but if I click Go to List, it'll open in a new interface, and I'll be able to see that everyone, including CN, will be on that list. And there we are. All 6 people from my opportunity team currently. All with differing roles and all with different access to those opportunities. Now let's go back. Once again, I'm in my advanced user details, and I'm going to go to default account team. It again will drop me down to where I need to be. You'll see right above is default opportunity team, which we were just working on, but now we're going to focus on accounts. And I'm going to add to my default account team. Once again, I'm going to make sure if I'm not a new member that I'm checking these boxes to add anyone I'm adding here onto any accounts that I currently have access to with an account team. I'm going to go ahead and put Charles here. Again, it pops up. This is a recent item that I've used. If I didn't pop up, let's just say that Charles didn't pop up here, I can actually click the little hourglass, and it's going to give me a list of users whose names are similar to the one I searched, and see, there's Charles. I click on his name, and it fills it in for me. Now, here are the levels of access for the different parts of an account. Account access means the main account where most of the data is kept. Now again, because not all of my accounts are for the hip hop team, I'm going to leave Charles with read-only access. But if it was someone on my team, especially someone higher up, I want to make sure I give them read-write access. Read access means they can see everything that I see. Read-write access means they can see everything I can see, and they can also change anything that I can change. Now, there is a caveat to that, of course. If the person has less privileges than me in their other roles, they may be limited in some of the fields and not able to modify them. We can modify those privileges and permissions separately if necessary. But for now, I'm going to leave them as read-only. Contact access. Now, for every account we do, and for every opportunity for that matter, we have contacts associated with them. Now, contacts are some of the most privileged information that we have. Sometimes it has private contact information like phone numbers, email addresses, and street addresses. And we may not want everyone to have access. Now, because Charles is the coordinator for the hip hop team, I trust that anything I have access to, he likely already does as well. So I'm going to give him read-only access to the contacts as well. Now, I may not always want to do that. I may want to leave it private. Private means that this person cannot see any of the contacts associated with these accounts. Although they may see everything on the account object, they cannot see anything on the contact object. They would be able to see a related contact, but that's the limit. Opportunity access. So once an opportunity is marked closed won, that opportunity now moves from the opportunity team to the account team. So for closed won or closed loss opportunities, what level of access do I want to give Charles? Well, again, because I'm not working with just hip hop clients, I want to make sure that I don't give him read write, because I don't want him to be able to accidentally change anything on any opportunities which he does not have access to. But as a coordinator, he should be able to see all the opportunities associated with the accounts that he's going to be on the account team for. Case access. Now, we do not use cases at this time. We run our support through Intercom, and that allows us to reach out more directly to clients rather than using SalesForce cases or SalesForce support. So generally what I will do is leave this on private. You can put anything you want in here. It's not likely to impact anything within the Salesforce environment itself. And just like an opportunity role, I'm going to pick a team role here. Now, you're much more likely to use account manager, channel manager, or lead qualifier on the account team than you would be on the opportunity team. But you'll see that A&R, primary support, secondary support, and tertiary support are all there still as well. I'm going to go ahead and mark Charles tertiary support, just as he was on the opportunity team. Before we leave, I'm going to make sure that I add CN as well. I'm going to leave her on read-only access, private contact access. I'm going to give her read-only access to the opportunities, private for case, and mark her as an account manager. Now, she is far more likely to, as someone on the team itself, to not need access to all of the permissions that a support person would have, but rather to be able to see and modify only those to which she's been assigned. There is a field on the account marked account manager. It's a lookup very similar to this lookup here. What we're working on now is a permission set that will say, if the person is marked as account manager here and their name is in that field, that they be able to modify. That essentially this becomes read-write by default because they are the account manager marked here and they're also the account manager marked on the actual account itself. But for now, I'm going to leave CN on read-only and I'm going to make her the account manager. Once again, I have 5 blanks here. If I have more than 5 people, I fill out all 5. I hit save and more. It'll clear them and give me 5 fresh new blanks to use. If I've made a mistake and I want to go back, I can hit cancel. Before I hit save to save these two, I want to make sure that I have added them to all the future accounts I create and to update any accounts that are currently active. Once again, it'll bring me back to my advanced user details screen. And just like before, I'm going to confirm the work I just did. I'll go to default account team. Again, it's just below opportunity. It's right here in the middle if you want to scroll down yourself. But you'll see that Charles is at the bottom of the list, added as my 5th person, and only 5 are here on the home screen. I can go to list. And I'll be able to see that CN is here as well. All 6 people are now currently on my default account team. And once again, as review, your default opportunity team, if the boxes are checked correctly, will add those new people to every open opportunity that is currently in Salesforce and every open opportunity that you open in the future. Your default account team will be added to any currently open accounts and any accounts that you start in the future, whether that is creating them yourself or converting from a lead. It's very important to make sure that you keep your default account and default opportunity teams up to date with every member of your team to ensure that everyone has access to the information at the levels at which they need that access as soon as possible.